We have Pastor Bob Fulkerson in the audience, and he's a good friend of ours, and we're glad to have you. So if everyone would stand, we'll have the invocation first, and then we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, sir.
Father, we thank you for this day and the blessings that are ours, for the gift and the opportunity that each day presents itself. I pray for this council tonight and for this city, that our hearts, our lives would be focused on the way you would have us do things. For Father, help us to look at the needs of others around us and recognize that we can make a difference. And to do that, that everything we do and say would give honor and glory to you. Thank you for each councilman. I thank you for each citizen that's here, for those folks who are from the fire department, police department, different departments in our city. We thank you for their service to us. And we pray, Father, that you would bless them and their families in the days ahead, that you would just bless Goldsboro, and that we would be, again, what you would have us be. Individuals making a difference for your name's sake. I thank you for all the gifts you've given us. Right now, I thank you most importantly for your Son. For it's in his name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thanks, Pastor Bob. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll have the roll call, member.
Mayor Allen.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Aycock.
Here.
Councilmember Williams.
Here.
Councilmember Broadway.
Here.
Councilmember Stevens.
Here.
Councilmember Foster.
Present.
Councilmember Hand.
Here. We're all here. Next, we've got the approval of the minutes from the work session and regular meeting of September 19, 2016.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Next, we'll move into our public comment period. This is the time when anybody in the audience would like to speak. You would have up to 3 minutes to speak on most anything you'd like to talk about. If there's anybody that would like to speak, now would be the time. All right, seeing no, you better start picking up. Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Good evening to members of the City Council.
Good evening.
Sylvia Barnes. I live at 1708 Long Street here in the city of Goldsboro. And this evening I come before the City Council because the NAACP have received several complaints from individuals that have been living at the School Street School Shelter. They have been complaining that the Red Cross have not been giving them the food. They have gone to bed at night hungry without any food, and that they are being called names by the people that are working there with the Red Cross. So I just wanted to come and to report that. I have called the National Red Cross office. I have spoken with the lady there. I have gone to the Red Cross office here in Goldsboro, and I have also spoken with the lady at their regional Red Cross office. Thank you.
I've heard some things similar to that myself, and I know Shacole and some other council members actually been there and have worked on some things. What I will tell you is after this, we will try to figure out, as you know, we don't run the shelters, and we have very little say-so, but we ought to be a voice, if nothing else. And we know those folks are in bad situations that are still in the shelters. So we will tonight and tomorrow morning see what we can do to try to make it better. I do know the plan is to close the shelter the next couple of weeks. They have got the housing vouchers now. So I think the hope is that everybody's going to get somewhere else, better conditions to live in the next week or so. And I know that's being worked on. But I've heard some of the same things you're saying, and I think as we discussed, we've learned a lot from the storm, and I think next time the shelters will be a big issue and how we do it differently. That is something that has come up a lot.
Well, Ms. Barnes, thank you for your concern. I've been to the shelter consistently, and I haven't heard that. I've seen overall the people, the staff there, they were caring and compassionate, but there was a need for the individuals that are residing there. They're using their own money to eat places. So if there's anybody that you may know that's able to give them a gift card for something to eat, it will help them financially where they don't have to spend their own money. Thank you for caring. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to speak? Anybody else? All right. If not, we're going to close the public hearing or public comment period, and we're going to move to presentations. And the first one is we've got a Resolution express appreciation for services by Johnny B. Parks as an employee of the city of Goldsboro. Johnny, are you here? Come on up and let me read this real quick, okay? I got to stay back here to read it because I have to have my glasses on. And they made it just big enough, I think I can read it. Resolution expression appreciation for services rendered by Johnny B. Parks as an employee of the city of Goldsboro for more than 12 years. Whereas Johnny B. Parks retired on November 1, 2016 as a custodian in the Parks and Recreation Department of the city of Goldsboro with more than 12 years of service. Whereas Johnny began her career on May 5, 2004 as a custodian with the police department with the city of Goldsboro. Whereas on July 1, 2016, Johnny was transferred to the Parks and Recreation Department within the city of Goldsboro, where she has served until her retirement. Whereas Johnny has proven herself to be a dedicated and efficient public servant who gained the admiration and respect of her fellow workers and the citizens of the city of Goldsboro. Whereas the mayor and the city council of the city of Goldsboro desire us on behalf of themselves, city employees, and the citizens of the city of Goldsboro of expressing to Johnny Parks their deep appreciation and gratitude for the service rendered by her to the city of Goldsboro over the years. Therefore, be it resolved by the mayor and the city council of the city of Goldsboro, North Carolina, that 1, we express to Johnny our deep appreciation and gratitude for the dedicated service rendered during her tenure with the city of Goldsboro. 2, we offer Johnny our very best wishes for success, happiness, prosperity, and good health in her future endeavors. And 3, this resolution shall be incorporated into the official minutes of the city of Goldsboro and shall be in full force and effect from this and after this, the 7th day of November 2016. I offer this for adoption.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Resolution passes. Okay.
Thank you.
Look, I got my photographer training. He just gets right up. He knows what to do now. So that's this resolution I just read, and they did a pretty good job of framing that thing and making it look good. But now you got a small dick. Hold on now. Hold on. We got to get this thing with the right. Come on in the center here. We got to get in the center. There you go. Oh, I hope you didn't know what to do. All right, thank you for your service. We appreciate it.
Hey, Mayor.
Mayor, if I could, can I just say something?
No, no.
You don't have to get I know Ms. Johnny worked with the police department for 12 years. She's worked with us. And I will say that I'm extremely sad that she's retiring, but it is well deserved, and I hope her the best of luck. In the 12 years that I've worked with her, I've never seen her in a bad mood or upset about anything. And I've been in different offices throughout the last 12 years, and it didn't matter what office I was in or where I was in. We got the best care from Miss Johnny. She went above and beyond what was asked. She always looked out for us, and she was part of the family. And I'm really, like I said, I'm sad that you're leaving, but I'm happy for you that you're retiring, and I hope you have nothing but success. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, we got one more. Is Mr. Earl Hamilton here?
Yes, sir.
He's here? Oh, there he is. Okay. Look, just sit down and rest. Let me read this thing a minute. Don't want to get you up here too early. All right. So this is for Mr. Earl. Resolution expressing appreciation for services rendered by Earl Hamilton as an employee of the city of Goldsboro for more than 16 years. Whereas Earl Hamilton retired on November 1, 2016 as a wastewater plant operator with the Public Utilities Department at the Water Reclamation Facility of the City of Goldsboro with more than 16 years of service. Whereas Earl began his career on September 27, 2000 as a water plant operator with the Water Reclamation Facility where he has served until his retirement. Whereas Earl has proven himself to be a dedicated and efficient public servant who has gained the admiration and respect of his fellow workers and the citizens of the City of Goldsboro. Whereas the mayor and the city council of the city of Goldsboro desire us on behalf of themselves, city employees, and the citizens of the city of Goldsboro of expressing to Earl their deep appreciation and gratitude for the service rendered by him to the city over these years. Now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and the city council of the city of Goldsboro, North Carolina, that number 1, we express to Earl our deep appreciation and gratitude for the dedicated service rendered during his tenure with the city of Goldsboro. 2, we offer Earl our very best wishes for success, happiness, prosperity, and good health in his future endeavors. And 3, this resolution shall be incorporated to the official minutes of the city of Goldsboro and shall be in full force and effect from this and after this, the 7th day of November 2016. I'll offer this for adoption.
Move to adopt the resolution.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. All right, Mr. Earl. We've had so many retirements, I'm getting good at this. That's what I just read. This is the first copy, right? Right. All right. You got a smile. Thank you very much.
Earl and I didn't work together too long, but I want to say thank you for his service. He's a stand-up, hands-on kind of guy at the plant, always volunteer for shifts and everything. And I helped met some of his family at one of our dinners, and he's a mentor to his children and grandchildren. And
I don't know if I'm gonna read the next one or not. Well, I need to put my glasses on for this one for sure. Okay. Karen, you just sit there and smile. Resolution expresses appreciation for service rendered by Karen Brashear as an employee of the City of Goldsboro for more than 20 years. Whereas Karen Brashear retired on November 1, 2016 as the Director of the Public Utilities Department of the City of Goldsboro for more than 20 years of service. Whereas Karen began her career on April 17, 1996 as a Director of Public Utilities, where she has served until her retirement. Whereas Karen has performed her duties throughout her years of service in a conscientious and responsible manner and has devoted countless hours to making sure that the water Goldsboro provides is safe for our citizens. Whereas over a 20-year career with the City of Goldsboro, Karen distinguished herself with her deep knowledge and abilities related to public utilities matters, and the expertise and leadership developed during her career has been invaluable to the city during her tenure as Public Utilities Director. Whereas Karen has proven herself to be a dedicated and efficient public servant who gained the admiration and respect of her fellow workers and the citizens of the City of Goldsboro. Whereas the Mayor and the City Council of the City of Goldsboro desirous on behalf of themselves, city employees, and the citizens of the City of Goldsboro of expressing to Karen Brashear their deep appreciation and gratitude for the service rendered by her to the city over the years. Therefore, be it resolved by the Mayor and the City Council of the City of Goldsboro, North Carolina, that 1, we express to Karen our deep appreciation and gratitude for the dedicated service rendered during her tenure at the City of Goldsboro. 2, we offer Karen our very best wishes for success, happiness, prosperity, and good health in her future endeavors. 3, this resolution shall be incorporated into the official minutes of the City of Goldsboro and shall be in full force and effect from this and after this, the 7th day of November 2016. I'll offer this for approval.
I make the motion that we approve it.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Come on, Karen, you know the deal. So before I even open this, I'm going to tell y'all, I've been involved in this city just about as long as Karen has, not quite. But there is one employee that I know has looked after this city and this water for the last 20 years better than I don't know how anybody will look. This young man has, where did he go? Yeah, he's got a heck of a job in front of him because this lady has been around there day, night, Saturday, Sunday, whatever it took. She has been there for 19 years. This manager or anybody else has not had to worry about that water plant because Karen has had it in her heart and she has done a phenomenal job for this city. And I just want to, I guess I really just want to hug you for her.
Thank you very much.
But now you get your picture. You gonna say anything?
yes, yes, we are.
I did. Well, the mayor took most of what I was going to say, actually, so I guess I'm going to be sure to congratulate you on 20 years of service. I've had the pleasure of working with you for the last 13 of them. I can tell you there's no one that's a more dedicated and devoted employee than you, especially when it comes to drinking water. Your passion is drinking water.
I thought you were gonna say drinking.
As the mayor said, and Scott and I have actually talked about several times, that when we went to sleep at night, we never had to worry about the water plant or wastewater plant. We always knew it was covered in compliance with state law when there was going to be clean drinking water available. So that's a good thing if we didn't ever have to worry about that. The utilities department's a better place because of you, and I wish you the best in your retirement. Thank you.
Okay, next we have the Golden Star Award recipients, and I think Randy's going to handle that. And by the looks of it, there must be some firefighters involved, because I don't know who in the world's protecting the city this afternoon, because I think most of them are up here. But I feel sure if we get a call, y'all can get out pretty quick, so that's good. All right, Randy.
Thank you. I have the pleasure of introducing the Golden Star Award recipients for September 2016. These awards are in recognition of the employees' contributions to the city, going above and beyond the normal scope of job duties, and promoting the organization's values and beliefs of integrity, professionalism, collaboration, and promoting the quality of life. We have 2 awards tonight that are being awarded in September. The first one goes to Mr. Rich Rendy. He's in the Public Utilities Department. Unfortunately, Rich could not be with us tonight. He's actually working a shift tonight, and due to illness of an employee could not be here. But we'll make sure and give him his award and thank him for his service. The second award we have tonight does go to an outstanding group of firefighters here in the city. I'd like to introduce them: Dwight Olmstead, Ron Lee, Dwight Boswell, Damon Coley, Rob Lorman, Cliff Best, Robert Jones, Alton Lewis, Charles Person, Tim Collier, and Steve Green. I'd like to ask Assistant Chief Eric Lancaster if he would come forward and explain why he nominated these gentlemen for this award.
Get the rest of the guys up here. Good evening, Mayor.
Good evening, sir.
City Council and City Manager, City Attorney. Nominated these guys based off of a rescue that we happened to have back in November. It was November 30th, 2015. Myself, Engine 2, Engine 5, and Ladder 1 were all dispatched to SPX there on US 117 Highway to perform a confined space rescue. Goldsboro Fire Department was requested by the Marmac Fire Department. The scene was very tense due to the fact that we had 3 victims, 2 of whom were already deceased. The team went immediately to work following all safety procedures. Multiple agencies were on scene and each had a task to do. Our confined space team worked seamlessly with the other agencies, which in turn resulted in one of the victims being rescued. Due to the efforts of all involved, this victim was released from the hospital days later and is alive and well today. Without the constant training of our team and the willingness to work with other agencies, this rescue could have turned out much worse. This rescue required the team to come up with strategies to ensure the successful rescue of the victims. Not only did they work together great, but they also worked great with the other county agencies that were there on the scene. For someone on the outside looking in, they would have thought everyone on the scene that night was from one fire department or one department instead of 5 different departments. On September 10th, 2016, this year, Goldsboro Fire Department, along with other agencies involved, received the A.B. Parker Memorial Technical Rescue of the Year First Place Award, that's a mouthful, at the North Carolina Association of Rescues and EMS Convention held in Hickory, North Carolina, presented by the State Fire Marshal. Captain Lorman is holding the award right here that you guys can see, and this is a big thing. We're real proud of it, not only for Goldsboro, but for Wayne County. As a supervisor, I'm very proud of the hard work that these firefighters put in to make sure that when needed, these rescues are a success. This team represents the city of Goldsboro well, and they make me proud to be a Goldsboro Fire Department member. And I'd like for the rest of the team to come on up here. Okay.
This ain't your job. You move over. Sorry. All right. So first off, y'all, I want to tell y'all something. I'm coming. Just hold on. You're good. So what I think is important for you to know is what we've done at the city from the council level is every month we try to pick employees that do an exceptional job, and we do this Gold Star Award for them. And this is an example tonight. And I can't tell you there's any group better trained, better prepared than this fire department. They needed a training facility. We didn't fund it, or we didn't have to fund it because they went out and built it. They, on very limited funds, a lot of these guys were involved. I mean, it's every day. This is just another example of your city employees just doing phenomenal work in this city with very limited means. As you ride down 117, you'll see the smoke coming up, and every time it does, they all smile and like that. But they're in their training, and it's amazing what we have. When we went through this catastrophic storm we just went through, I cannot tell you. I would put Wayne County and our emergency folks against anybody, anywhere, anytime. They are that good, and they did a phenomenal job. And this is part of the team, whether it was whatever it was. They were in there doing it, and we're just very proud and very lucky to have them. So this is just one example of what y'all do. But what I want to do is I want y'all to introduce yourselves, because some people don't know you. So just start with you and introduce yourself and tell us who you are.
I'm Tim Collier with Goldsboro Fire Station number 5 at Central Heights Road. Been there about 20 years.
My name is Damon Coley. I'm in Station 4. I've been there for 8 years.
I'm Ron Lee, Station 1, 16 years.
Captain Rob Morman on Station 2, been there 23 years.
Cliff Bass, Station 2, been there for 5 years.
Robert Jones, Station 2, been with the city 20 years.
Alvin Lewis, Station 2, 20 years. Dwight Boswell, Station 1, 16 years.
Dwight Olmsted, Station 1, 25 years.
Stephen Green, Station 5, been there 16 years.
Charles Burson, Station 5, 16 years.
Well, except one baby, 5 years. I mean, look how long these folks have been here with us. I mean, it's phenomenal. We just appreciate what y'all are doing. So, all right, Charles. Charles.
Chuck.
Yeah, oh, yeah, you can speak on Charles. I'm sorry. Randy, how you gonna get all these pictures? Just get one group picture? All right, we'll take it. All right. Thank you, bud. We appreciate it. Yeah, I think so. Robert Jones.
Here. Thank you, sir.
Steve Green. Dwight Olmsted. Damon.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, brother. Dwight and two Dwights. Robert Levin.
Thanks, sir. Sure.
Alton. Clifford.
Thank you, sir.
Ronald. All right, so y'all come spread right here so we can get a picture. Chief, come on up here. It's gonna be a wide angle picture right here. Come on, Chief.
It's good to see the families back.
We'll look on the Facebook page tomorrow and see how good a job he did. All right.
Now they still for just one session?
Sure. Anybody else? All right. Thanks again, guys. Thanks so much.
I just wanted real quick to, y'all are very familiar with how proud I am of my whole fire department, but that particular night was a very difficult night, very difficult task, phenomenal job, but Assistant Chief Lancaster was in command that night. And you know, God has a way of putting people in the right place at the right time. He was perfect for the situation, and they did a phenomenal job. And this man here kept it organized, kept it going, and I just want to congratulate him for a job well done.
Okay, that's the end of our presentations. And so next, we're going to move to public hearings, and our first one is Z-716, Esley Lichner, the northeast corner of South Brooklyn Boulevard.
Mayor, City Councilman, item F is a continued public hearing from September 19th. Z-716 Esley Lichner. The property is located on the northeast corner of South Brooklyn Boulevard and East Elm Street. The applicant requests an amendment of the existing general business conditional district zone, which allows the retail sales of licensed sports products to add the rental of vehicles as a permitted use within that zoning district. On December 2nd, 2013, Goldsboro City Council approved a change of zone for the property to amend the general business conditional district for a used car lot and truck rental operation to add retail sales and licensed sports products. The subject property is shown here in the cross-hatch pattern. The property shown here in the pink is shopping center. The red color is general business. This is neighborhood business. The property shown here is R12 residential. We also have some R9 residential here. The comprehensive land use plan designates the property for commercial development. The purple color here is mixed use. You have some medium density residential here and some high density residential. This is an aerial photograph of the site. This is Brooklyn Boulevard. This is Elm Street here. This is the floor plan of the property. This is the front door of the entrance of the property. You have the cash register, storage area, the office, the restrooms, tables for display. Currently, the lot is occupied by a 2,652-foot, one-story masonry brick building. The submitted floor plan indicates the uses that I just mentioned. A total of 23 striped parking spaces are provided, which include one handicap parking space. The existing striped and paved parking lot provides for circulation and interconnectivity to the adjacent property. The applicant has not indicated the limit of trucks proposed for rental or to be returned after rental. However, based on the number of existing parking spaces available to serve both uses, which is 23 spaces, only 9 spaces would be available for the parking of rental vehicles, since 14 spaces would be required for the retail operation and rental customers. The number of employees is 2. The hours of operation is 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, from 12 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Sunday. Upon request from the applicant, council continued the public hearing on this item from September 19th to October 17, 2016. The recommendation is no action necessary. The Planning Commission will have a recommendation for the council's meeting on November 21st, 2016.
Any questions, Mr. Rowe, from the council? Thank you, sir. This is a public hearing. Would anybody like to speak for or against? Would anybody like to speak? If not, we will close this public hearing and move to Z-816 Cornerstone Church.
Item G, C816 Cornerstone Church. The property is located on the north side of Barton Scott Lane between Paytown Road and North William Street. The request is from R16 Residential Office and Institution Number 1 Conditional District. The applicant requests the ONI 1 Conditional District in order to allow the construction and operation of a church and related facilities. No development plans have been submitted at this time, but will be required and approved separately. The subject property is shown here in the cross-hatch area here. The property shown in the yellow colors are R16 residential. The property shown here in the light purple is highway business. The property shown here is residential mobile home 9. This is a comprehensive land use plan that designates a property for medium density residential, have mixed use 1 in the purple, mixed use 2 in the light purple. This is the aerial photograph that shows the property. And this is Barton Scott Road here. This is photographs of the property. City water and sewer is not available to the property, which is not located within a special flood hazard area. Although the requested zoning district will not be entirely compliant with the recommendation of the land use plan, the plan does indicate that the R&I uses will provide a step down in intensity between the commercial and nearby neighborhoods. R&I 1 would also provide uses which would not interfere with the development or enjoyment of single-family dwellings. It will not be detrimental to the quiet residential nature of the district. In addition to the zoning change, the applicant has requested a waiver of the site plan requirement at the time of rezoning. If rezoned, development plans would be approved by the council separately. The recommendation is no action necessary. Planning Commission will have a recommendation for the council's meeting on November 21st, 2016.
Any questions, Mr. Ray? All right, if not, this is a public hearing for Cornerstone Church. Would anybody like to speak for or against? Anybody like to speak? All right, we're going to close the public hearing for Cornerstone Church and move to Z916, Patricia Barton.
Item H, the property is located on the northeast corner of Central Heights Road and Longleaf Avenue. The request is from R16, the General Business Conditional District, no use proposed. The property is occupied by a single-family residential dwelling. Proposed use, although the applicant has requested a General Business Conditional District zone, no use for the property has been specified. If rezoning is approved, any allowable uses within the General Business Zone may be permitted only after approval of development plans by the City Council. The subject property is shown here in the Crossroads pattern. This is Central Heights Road. This is New Hope Road. This is Longleaf Avenue. The property is in the red. It's general business. You have some R16, R12, some more R16 over here. This is often institutional. And the colors here is neighborhood business. The comprehensive land use plan designates the property in question as mixed use. You have some R&I here. This is the aerial photograph that shows the property in question. It is a single-family residential unit. And this is a photograph of the property in question shown here. And this just shows some of the existing residential within that area. The requested general business will not be compliant with the comprehensive land use plan. The recommendation is no action necessary. Planning Commission will have a recommendation for the council's meeting on November 21st, 2016.
Any questions? Okay, this is a public hearing for Z916, the northeast corner of Central Heights Road and Longleaf Avenue. Would anybody like to speak for or against? Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, if you will give the clerk your name and address right here as you come up, that'd be great. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Donna Crafton. I reside at 603 Longleaf Avenue, and I've been there about 9 years. In that period of time, the increase of traffic has been tremendous. And I fear that with the proposed approval of the rezoning in the commercial area, that traffic is going to increase as well, even more. The rate of speed in which those vehicles travel already in a residential neighborhood is mind-blowing at best. Also, the potential for if this project is approved, not knowing what type of business would be coming there, whether it's something that's got regular business hours, a 9 to 5, or something that could go into either a restaurant, an eatery, convenience store. Again, that traffic would be increased, as well as the propensity for an element that we do not need in the neighborhood. And as a result of all of that, the potential again for increase in property taxes and depreciation of my property value. The amount of people that cut through my front yard and all that has already been there. And again, this is only residential. The school is right there. There's no sidewalks there in that area. So again, with that already high rate of travel that people tend to have, it will only invite more trouble. So that's my concern, and I am definitely against it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Would anybody else like to speak for or against? Good evening, sir. If you will give the clerk your name and address as you come up, please.
Mayor Allen, City Council, Planning Commission, and any other positions that are in the protocol. Good evening.
Good evening.
I am here tonight on behalf of the Central Heights community. We want the record to show that we oppose the request to rezone the property at the intersection of Central Heights Road and Longleaf Avenue from R16 residential to general business conditional district with no use proposed. Not only are some of us here present tonight, thank you. In addition to being present, I have a 74 names on a petition that I would like to make part of the record. The request as proposed leads us to believe any type of business could be located on this property to include, but not limited to, a convenience store, to a fast food restaurant, or even an auto parts store. With the high volume of traffic and short distance from Longleaf Avenue to New Hope Road would lead one to believe that an entrance and exit to the business on Central Heights Road is doubtful. Therefore, with more frontage on Longleaf Avenue, it is reasonable to believe that an entrance and exit would be on Longleaf Avenue. This being the case, it would not take long for the customers to realize that they can go east on New Hope Road, turn right on Urban Drive, then turn right on 3 streets in the Central Heights community that would lead them back to the place of business. Those streets are Forest Road, Longleaf Avenue, and Luther Drive. We believe that these customers will not obey the speed limits and will not respect the community. We further believe that there will be excessive loitering, excessive trash in the streets and yards, and excessive noise. As in the past and future, there is and always will be a large population of children who have no other areas to play, walk, and ride their bikes than on these streets. Others, including senior citizens who use these streets for walking, biking, etc., will not be safe. We do not have sidewalks for the citizens to use, and future plans exclude us from getting them. Some of you were elected by the people and for the people. Others of you are public servants. Collectively, all of you are charged with making the ultimate decision as to what is best for the city of Goldsboro or what is best for the citizens of the Central Heights community. We ask that you rule for the community. We also respect Ms. Barton's request and her rights in this position, but we don't believe that she considered the negative impact that her request would have on an entire community. Hopefully, she will respect our rights and position on this matter as we respect hers. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Would anybody else like to speak? Would anybody else like to speak? Good evening, sir.
Good evening. How you doing, Mayor?
Good, I'm great. I hope you are.
Good. Councilman,
evening.
Councilman Broadway, who represents our area, and Councilman Aycock, who's been very supportive to the people of the Central Heights area. My name is Larry Dawson. I'm the son of Mr. Euless Dawson, and I'm here tonight to represent my family. I'm also a member of the Central Heights Committee for Community Development. And as a family member, as a member of the community, I am and my family are opposed to the redistricting and the reclassification of Central Heights. And there's two major reasons that I would present to you as to why. Number one, there's a possibility that there will be an increase in the property taxes in this area. It could happen. And that's one thing that we're opposed to. Number two, the property value of those who are left out there after this property has been rezoned or it has been reclassified could depreciate the property value of everybody that lives in this area. Because going by your letter, it did state that this reclassification could be for just this area or the entire area. So for those two reasons, we are opposed to it. Now, my dad has worked with this body over the years, and y'all have been very cooperative. Your doors have been open to him. He was responsible for getting the sidewalks put out in Central Heights from the school down towards Longleaf Avenue. He worked with Mayor Plank and this body, if not these members of this body, to attain a stoplight right there at the corner of Central Heights and New Hope Road. And he has expressed his concerns about the area, an area that he has worked so hard in to produce things. We have a parade that comes through Central Heights every year that's community involved and very successful. We have activities for our youth that we do free of charge for the community. So we are very involved in the community, and we are a tight-knit community. And this is something that we do not want to happen. We're just asking for fair play. Now, Ms. Burton has every right to sell her property to whoever it is that she wants to sell it to. And we also have a right and an obligation to oppose this, looking in the future as to what could be the consequences because of this move. And I know this body is not in the business of depressing any area or any citizens. In the long run, people that's looking for an area to stay or an area to build will look at the tax base. They also look at the schools. They look at the property value and, you know, how if they choose to leave, how much they can sell their property to. This would be in the negative. To do what this young lady is requesting would be a negative effect on this area that would last for a long time until it's redistricted or reclassified. So we're asking you not to do that. And I look at Goldsboro this way. I was born here. I'm very proud to be a North Carolinian and a Goldsborian. And I look at this area as being half full. We have a lot here, and we have some rooms for improvement. And we have a lot of resources here, resources that have not been tapped yet in the city of Goldsboro. The way that I would suggest that if you're looking for a tax base or if you whatever you're looking to improve this community, is to bring industry to the area, to Goldsboro and to Wayne County, because we have the people to do whatever it is that needs to be done in this area. You have Georgia Pacific here. They've been here for a long time, very successful. One of the top units in Georgia Pacific internationally. You have GlaxoSmithKline down the road there. As a matter of fact, a young man from Goldsboro who was a scientist at Glaxo was sent to the Midwest to open up a new plant. They chose about, 15 to 20 people, and a person from Goldsboro was chosen. So the resources are here. We have a young man that lives in Goldsboro that works for DuPont, and they built a plant in China. 25 people were chosen. A member from Goldsboro was chosen out of that 25 to go build a plant. to stay there for a month. So the resources are here. I don't see any reason why we can't attract the best industry, international industry here in Goldsboro. Not because it's a cheap labor force, but we have the people in this area for any industry that wants to be successful. GlaxoSmithKline, Georgia Pacific, DuPont, SPX are all successful in this area. So that's what I would suggest to this committee. If we're looking to increase the base to go to the black and get out of the red, let's bring some industry here. We have the people here that can do this. We have the people that can work in any field, and we have Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. Some of these guys retire here, and they are highly qualified when it comes to a technical level. So I would say that I'm hoping that you would deny this request. And it is my father's desire, the last years of his life, to live those years out peacefully, knowing that Central Heights and the area that he's worked so hard in is really being taken care of. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Dawson, if you or Mr. Morgan or any of you people from Central Heights, I know you all meet on Saturdays every so often. At your next meeting, if you'd let me know when it is, and hopefully I can listen to that and maybe.
Let me know too. Let me know. I was out of town the last
It's the first Monday, the very first. This was our night here. But it will be the first Monday of each month.
First Monday.
Yes, sir, the first Monday. And we would appreciate.
That's the first Mondays, always our meetings also.
That's right.
So
We'll see if we can work something out.
Well, if you can work something out.
We'll work something out.
You know, I think a lot of the people in Central
Yes, you
Heights.
do. Well, I know the both of you do, yeah.
Right. No. The meeting is the Monday following the first Sunday. After the first Sunday. And tonight would normally be our meeting night, but we are here tonight, plus they're using the church for the election tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So we thank you for your
we'll
comment.
schedule one later for this month.
Please
We will
do.
let both of you
Monday
know.
following first Sunday.
Yes, ma'am.
We will let you know. We'll call
Okay. Thank
back.
you, gentlemen. Are you want to speak, ma'am?
Good evening. I
Good
am Patricia Barton at 601 Longleaf Avenue. I've been there approximately 14 years now, and I had all intention of not depreciating the land, but I think everybody property around it will increase and appreciate. And I decided to put my property up for sale in order to sell it for commercial because the building next to me, the house next to me, is for sale as commercial, and all around it is other businesses already. And I think it would bring more jobs to the area if it was changed to commercial. Not knowing that whether it's going to be the next day or two, as the community might think, it might take a while. And we all know when developers come to town, they really don't need none of us, our permission, whatever they want to do. So I just wanted to make my property an offer to them if they buy the property next door.
Okay.
That's already listed as commercial property.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Would anybody else like to speak? Anybody else? All right, I'm gonna, nobody's getting up, right? Everybody's good? All right, we're gonna close this public hearing. I do want to take a minute to kind of follow up on Mr. Aycott's comments. I do appreciate seeing all you folks from Central Heights. We've been to some meetings out there. We know how you care about your community, and it's always good when communities come and stand up for their community. So we appreciate each one of you coming here tonight to do that. We very much appreciate that, and it's noticed, so thank you. All right, so with that, we're gonna go to CU 13-16. Tom Britt.
The property.
Hey, Jimmy, 1 second. For all you folks that came, let me tell y'all one thing, just so you know. Tonight, this goes tonight, we just really to sit on this for 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, the Planning Commission, which are all these folks right here, they will meet 2 Mondays from now, and they will hear all this. You are welcome to go to their meeting. I don't think you can talk unless they ask you questions, but after they make their recommendation, they'll come back to the city council the following month, or the following 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from now, did I get my dates?
Make sure, Jimmy, we've changed the schedule because of the hurricane. Let's sure Jimmy gives you the dates and times.
It'll be on the 14th.
Okay, so the next meeting will be on the 14th at 7 o'clock, right? In this room next door, right? In this room here. Okay, in this room here. So if you want to hear, this is your hardworking planning commission. It takes us a lot to get them here, but once we get them here, they work hard. And they'll be here to discuss this on the 14th. So if y'all want to come back and hear what they say, you're welcome to. You just can't talk then, okay?
At the same time?
Same time, yes, ma'am. And then they'll make a recommendation to us for the following 2 weeks from there, which would be the first meeting in December, right? The December 21st. November 21st.
Do it 21st.
November 21st, okay.
And they meet
got
at
it.
7 o'clock next Monday, the planning board. Okay.
Okay, so we just want y'all, and if you have any questions, feel free to call our city, call the planning department, the clerk, and they can answer anything you got, okay? All right, thank all of you for coming. Okay, Mr. Rowe, you may proceed.
The property is, item I, the property is located on the southwest corner of Northwest Boulevard and New Hope Road. The applicant requests a conditional use permit to operate a place of entertainment with no ABC permits, Internet Cafe. This is the aerial photograph on the site plan of the property that shows the property here. This is Berkeley Boulevard, it's located here. This is New Hope Road. This is the floor plan of the property. Within the general business zoning classification, internet cafes or electronic gaming operations with no ABC permits are permitted use only after the issuance of a conditional use permit approved by the City Council. In August of 2010, the City Council adopted an ordinance regulating electronic gaming establishments. In November 2015, the Wayne County Attorney's Office notified owners of the existing internet cafes that any establishment operating contrary to the state law may be closed by local law enforcement agencies. At issues was the legality of the software being used to facilitate gaming operations. Some operators chose to voluntarily close their business while others chose to remain in operation. New internet cafes or existing internet cafes that have been closed for more than 6 months are required to apply for a conditional use permit according to the City of Goldsboro Unified Development Ordinance. In June of 2013, the applicant was approved to operate an electronic gaming facility with 45 games. The applicant now maintains that his computer software is compliant with North Carolina law and proposed to operate the same location under the previously approved floor plan. The site consists of several commercial strips. The floor plan indicates 2 existing tenant spaces which are combined to form one assembly area with a total of 45 games. Other areas within the space include restrooms, office area, and storage. 45 gaming stations and 2 employees would be a total of 92 parking spaces, would require a total of 92 parking spaces. And striped parking spaces are required, which include 4 handicap parking spaces. The existing parking lot within the shopping center should be sufficient to accommodate the required parking spaces as well as other spaces within the development. The hours of operation are limited to 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. and the applicant proposes 1 to 2 employees. The city's UDO requires a separation distance of 200 feet from residentially zoned or developed property, a church or school. There is no church or school facility located within 200 feet of the proposed use. Residentially zoned and developed property is located with approximately 150 feet along West New Hope Road. A modification of the 200-foot distance requirement is therefore necessary. The recommendation will be no action necessary. Planning Commission will have a recommendation for the council's meeting on November 21st, 2016.
Any questions? If not, this is a public hearing for Tom Brett, southwest corner of North Berkeley Boulevard. Anybody like to speak for or against? Anybody like to speak? All right, if not, we're going to close this public hearing, and we will excuse our hard-working Planning Commission. And thank you for all you do, and thank you for coming tonight. With that, we have the consent agenda.
Move to adopt consent agenda.
Any discussion? All in favor? Oh, no, I'm sorry, roll call. Madam Clerk?
Mayor Allen?
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Pro Tem Aycock?
Yes.
Councilmember Williams?
Yes.
Councilmember Broadway?
Yes.
Councilmember Stevens?
Yes.
Councilmember Foster?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris?
Yes. Consent agenda passes. Next, we've got the items requiring individual action. There are none. We'll move to the city manager's report.
Mayor and Council, I have 2 items I'd like to share with you this evening. The first is an update on Hurricane Matthew response and recovery. We began our recovery Sunday morning with dozens of vehicles abandoned due to the flash flooding that occurred in our community. And our staff worked to clear the roads of vehicles, trees, and other debris that had come out in the road during the flash flooding. We followed the flash flooding with a record flood along the Neuse River, cresting sometime that Tuesday. And we have more than 500 structures that had water in or under them with a flood damage cost in excess of $12 million. We condemned more than 400 residential properties due to safety concerns with mold, electric components that were submerged, or mechanical concerns. Most homes are in some state of repair, meaning they've gotten permits and they're working to restore their homes. In short term, people are returning to their homes. We still have people concerned maybe what the condemned sign on their home means, and if they have any questions, I'd encourage them to call our inspections department at 580-4385. Again, that number, 580-4385. The signs do not mean they have to tear their homes down. It just means they have to do some work to make them safe to live in again. We have been asked a number of times about a FEMA buyout program similar to what occurred following the 1999 floods. And while no state guidance is yet available, we expect to have more information in the coming months. I believe this is the best option for removing residential properties from the floodplain, but it is, or expect it will be, a voluntary program once approved and will likely take years to complete. So it is not a short-term solution to removing people from flood-prone areas, but I believe it will be a good solution for those that choose to participate. We have many outside groups offering assistance to our residents. Our Community Relations Director, Shacole Simpson-Carter, has been talking with them and community members daily. For those that need to talk with her, her number is 580-4318. Again, 580-4318. We still have people in the county shelter and are working with FEMA to establish better temporary housing, which we hope will be available before Christmas. It does take time, and again, it's frustrating if you're one of those still wondering where you're going to live. I will remind the community to please not forget those in need and will be in need for months to come, and to ask that they please keep those that have had their homes flooded in your thoughts and prayers. Since the storm passed, we have hauled over 900 truckloads of storm debris, mostly vegetative, and awarded contracts to grind the vegetative debris and haul it away, and another contract to complete the construction debris removal. We have several road repairs and are working to complete these repairs as quickly as possible. For those concerned with the cost to the city and how it will impact the city's finances, I would like to share that we have had numerous meetings with FEMA and the FEMA staff and expect the city's costs will be reimbursed by the state and federal governments. I am proud of our city staff, how they prepared and responded to the storm and the long hours they worked before, during, and since. The cooperation between the city, county, school system, state, and our local bus transit system has been phenomenal. There is still a lot of work to do, but I would ask the community to continue to be patient. Call on us if you have questions, suggestions, or need assistance. And I've given a lot of numbers, but my office number is 580-4330. Again, 580-4330. Any questions on the hurricane response or recovery thus far?
Questions?
Mayor, the second item I have, I am pleased this evening to announce that we've selected Miss Ashlyn Glader, I'll mess up her name, she'll have to correct me on that, as our new Travel and Tourism Director. I would invite Ashlyn to come forward as I share a little bit more information about her. So Ashlyn, if you'd come up to the podium, that would be great. Several of you may have already been introduced to Ashlyn as she began working for the city on October 13th. Just a few days after Hurricane Matthew passed through our community. So joining our team in mid-October has been anything but normal. In spite of that, she has been working hard to figure out her role in our organization. Ashlyn's position is one that is jointly funded by the city and county through our hotel occupancy taxes, and she works with both tourism boards. Ashlyn grew up and graduated from high school in Hayesville, North Carolina, which is located in the far western corner of the state, right around the North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee border. She completed a Bachelor of Arts degree in Anthropology and Spanish from the University of North Carolina at Greensboro in 2011 and received a Marketing Professional Certification from Auburn University in 2015. She comes to us after working for the past 4 years in the hotel business, most recently as the Director of Sales and Marketing for Hampton Inn and Best Western here in Goldsboro. She's functioned as a marketer, a sales manager, an event coordinator, and a graphic designer. In addition, she has been an active member of our Goldsboro Tourism Council for the past 2 years. Ashlyn brings a good background, fresh perspective, new energy, and comes to us highly recommended. She is also a military spouse. Her and her husband have been in Goldsboro for 3 years. At this time, I would like to say congratulations and would ask Ashlyn to say hello.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be on board and to be mayor and city councilman. My last name is Glather. It's come from a long German line of family, and the name means smooth hair, so hopefully that sticks with you. But at any rate, we came here in 2013, and it was our motive to get back to North Carolina because it's our home state. Since I graduated from college a whole 5 years ago, I've lived in Colorado, in Texas, and in North Carolina. And ever since I met my husband in high school, we became really good friends. We never dated until college, but he just wouldn't shut up about wanting to fly the F-15 and coming back to Seymour Johnson. And although it's on the other side of the state, this is our one and only chance to get back to our home state. And we are so glad to have been here for 3 years. We found out last Friday we'll be here for another 3 years. And so he's in the 336, and we're going to be going into the 334th in the spring. Where we'll be an instructor. So I'm pleased to be able to equally serve the community and give my background in hotel experience and to know how hard we work for the occupancy tax dollars and know how best we can use it to reinvest it into the community. So on a lighter note, we are proud parents of a cat. No kids just yet, but on our spare time, it's no surprise that we both love to travel. And this year alone, we've been to Japan, Alaska, Utah, Minnesota, Seattle, Vancouver. And I love to go other places to learn what they have to offer and bring those experiences back home to see how we can put our own personal touch on it. And another personal note, I run marathons because, why not? So I'm a very active person. I don't sit still very well, but it leads to fun and interesting and exciting things. So I hope to provide attractive things to enhance the quality of life for our constituents, as well as make it attractive for people to come and experience it and flock to and want to have that experience for themselves to take home. Yeah, so thank you.
So was it your car sitting outside to add to 104 point something and 26.2 and?
Oh no, that's someone who's probably far more crazier than I am. But yeah.
What was 104 or 140.6?
Yeah, something like that. I try not to keep count. So, but thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome.
All right, that's all, Mr. Manager?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Attorney?
No report, Mr. Mayor.
All right, we got, under Mayor and Councilman, we do have one proclamation for Veterans Day. I'm actually going to read it Friday at the Veterans Day Parade. Our own Mr. Broadway is the marshal, the honorary marshal for the parade.
I guess
So I guess if everybody should at least come out to see that. But let me read it real quick, so in case somebody's not going to be there, we'll have it read. So it's Veterans Day Proclamation. Whereas Veterans Day was once known as Armistice Day, proclaimed by President Woodrow Wilson in 1919 to remind Americans of the tragedy of war, and whereas in 1938 Congress passed a bill that each November 11th should be a day dedicated to the cause of world peace and hereafter celebrated and known as Armistice Day. Whereas in 1954 Congress changed the name to Veterans Day in order to honor all American veterans of all wars. And whereas through their commitment for freedom, America's veterans have lifted millions of lives and made our country and the world more secure. Whereas with respect for and in recognition of the contributions our servicemen and women have made to the cause of peace and freedom around the world, therefore I, Chuck Allen, Mayor of the City of Goldsboro, North Carolina, do hereby proclaim November 11, 2016 as Veterans Day in the City of Goldsboro and urge all our citizens to remember the service and sacrifice of our veterans who defend our freedom and preserve our way of life. Now, in witness thereof, I intercept my hand and affix the seal of the City of Goldsboro. It's the 7th day of November, 2016. So I would encourage everyone to come to the Veterans Day this Friday. It's at 11? That's right, 11 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
So it's right downtown,
Center
right on Center Street, 11 o'clock. So we would encourage everyone to come to it. So with that, Mr. Williams, you got any comments?
I just want to encourage everyone to stay strong. I know we're going through a lot with the storm, and I just want to applaud all of our citizens that have helped other citizens, all of our visitors from FEMA to the Red Cross to the Salvation Army to our churches, all our volunteers. I want to thank you, and just keep doing the work. There's still work to do. Thank you.
Mr. Broadway?
I'd like to echo what Councilman Williams said, but I'd also like to put a kudo out for our fire department. The chief knew he had people in trouble, and he was able to obtain a Zodiac and a motor for that Zodiac in about a day and a half, and I think they made over 25 or 30 water rescues getting people out of houses. So not only were we proud with those guys going into that transformer up at SBX, but look just what our fire department did, and I was really proud of them, proud of all the employees and the extra hours they worked. Call, the firemen, everybody, police, public works. I'd just like to thank them. I made you proud to be from Goldsboro. That's all.
Yes.
I just want to echo everything, the sentiments as Councilman Williams has said, and just, if you are out there, you're not alone. We're all going through it. I'm going through it. And just, if you see someone and you're next to someone, or someone at, School Street or any of the shelters, I challenge everyone out there. If you got $5 in your pocket, you come together. I know you all come together anyway, but still come together and just buy a little, go to the store, bring them a little bag of food or something, because they are in detriment need over School Street. I was there with Councilman Williams, Councilman Foster, Senator Davis, and Attorney Roy Cooper last week, and we toured the whole school, and they are in desperate need. Also, I would like to say, if anyone, just to speak on it, if anyone sees homes being cleaned up from Christ in Action or Rubicon, or any of the churches that are helping people clear out homes and rebuild, please, 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 don't go through the trash. Just let it be picked up by Public Works and the health department, and those officials pick those articles or items up. I know it's kind of tempting to go through and try to find treasures that might work for you, but if it has black mold or any of those items are detrimented from the storm, please do not go through it, because it can be detrimental to your health. Black mold can get into your lungs, and eventually it can cause cancer and all kinds of other ailments to your health. So please don't do that. And I would just like to say that. There we go.
All right, thank you. Mr. Hickok?
Just to echo, the thanks to all the volunteers and to all the people who've helped the storm victims. My wife and I happened to be heading out of town to Saturday when Matthew came, and we flew out before it had rained an inch. And when we heard the next morning how much rain had come, when we got home, we were expecting to see our neighborhood just devastated, but the city workers had gotten out and really did a tremendous job, all of them, including Mr. Stevens and his crew at the city manager's office. Every time I called to ask how things were, they kept telling me to stay away. So I made no real rush to get back. And when we came back the following Saturday, I was just amazed on how much progress had been made and how much progress we were continuing to make. And hopefully, before too long, we'll be as back to normal as we can possibly get in the shortest period of time. I know that everybody in the city, I saw pictures of mechanics from the maintenance complex putting sandbags out at the water plant. And I said, everybody's working together, and I was proud of them. And thank you.
Mr. Foster?
No comment.
Ms. Ham?
Yes, sir. I'm on the end of the comments, but I would like to also extend my appreciation to the people of Goldsboro, as well as those who came from outside of Goldsboro that came here voluntarily to assist us. I saw many examples of their courage, their stamina, their determination to make our situation better than it was. And I appreciate their time, their effort, their personal expenses, their time away from their families, as well as, of course, our own people who have incurred a lot of hardship. But the mayor has commented many times of his seeing how the citizens of Goldsboro has pulled together, how they came together as one. There was no difference in age, color, or what your social economic status was. Everyone lent a hand to make this situation better. And it's ongoing, and we should be very proud of the examples that we have seen personally and that we've heard about, and know that we will overcome this situation. Goldsboro will be better and stronger. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, with that, a couple of just notes is Lights Up is November 22nd downtown. That's when we cut the lights on downtown. Usually 4,000 or 5,000 people come. It's a great event. I would encourage all our folks to come. It's always been a really, really good event, and we want to feel sure it'll be this year. Secondly, I did just want to take a minute to thank Bishop Alton Smith and the folks at St. Mark Church. They had a really nice Veterans celebration this past Sunday. Councilmember Williams and I attended, and was just a really good ceremony. So we appreciate them for doing that and honoring our veterans at that location. Then I guess the last thing I want to hit on is if you haven't voted, tomorrow is your last time to vote, your last day to vote. It's your right. And it's your duty as an American. If you haven't voted, you ought to go vote tomorrow. You pick who you vote for. Just do it educated, but please go vote if you haven't voted. I think it's everybody. A lot of people have died to give us that right, and everybody should vote if you haven't. So with that, we stand adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you.